So today, right, what I would really want to kind of cover is, I think this video is going to rub off some shoulders here. Especially today, there will be some of you who may have gone for the balloting, and due to whatever reason, the queue number is not good, unfortunately, and you kind of very unhappy, like, oh, I want to buy, but the balloting did not go in my favor, so you couldn't buy anything, right? So of course, some of you, maybe you already went for the ballot, you get a good queue, and then end up you never buy. My role is always to look into why is this happening. All right, so of course, when we were launching this during then, right, you see that we have a VIP for EOK. There was this 2,767 per square foot that was highlighted, and they bought a mid-floor unit. So everybody was quite concerned, like, oh, if this is 2,007, that means moving forward, all the public launches are going to be above 2,007 plus. So always remember, developers, they themselves are also doing business. They are in a business. They are not doing charity or whatever. But how they are able to control their funds, their costs, as well as their profits, nobody will know, right? Even no matter how you guess, no matter how much videos you watch, you are unable to hear it and stand on the developer side, really understand how do they make profits. So this was actually after the VIP and VVIP bulk purchase day. So that was the day when all these priority people will be able to choose their units first. And even on that first day, this is already 47% sold. 47% sold. So this is what we call a priority queue, right? And this is the first time that we have seen so many high demand for priority. All right. So if we can see right from here, what do we mean by bulk purchase? Bulk purchase means you are the first tier relationship. You can buy more than one units together. And then there's always this thing that a lot of people reached out. There's also the agent purchase that is also formed under the first day. So many times when we have access to certain good units or certain projects that we know that, hey, we can actually purchase this as an investment. So this is a very first time in my entire business career that the priority can close almost 50% of the units, which is unheard of, very, very unheard of. Can you imagine when you are the queue number one, even when you go into EOK, 50% of the units are already sold. Immediately over the time, right, when it was 12 p.m., meaning the first batch or maybe the first 100, 200, and you can see that the numbers jump already from 40% to 60%. And by 4 p.m., it was already 82%. So very, very quickly. And for Nava, at the same time, during then was already 63%. So Nava actually did extremely well, in my opinion. And as we move forward into the late time, right, 6:30, 95% already sold. Will people buy so high, man? Will people willing to pay so much? Because there's this component of us thinking about, if today, if I'm buying a property, if let's say for investment, I will want to go for a lower floor, then we will keep ensuring ourselves that no lah, nobody will buy the high floor one. The high floor so expensive, wouldn't buy. Hey, but surprisingly, by the time 7 p.m., most of the high floors are already sold as well. You see, and by the time at the end of the day, we have 99%. Of course, during that time when I highlighted about how much units are sold, my projection now, okay, this one for the fun, for the sake of for fun now. So I actually projected 89%. Okay, but wow, Emerald Carton went on to 99%. And for Novo Place, I anticipate 96% because EC so people may want to just go for EC, but now Novo only 57%. So this one I was way off, way off. And for Nava Grove, the actual was about 52%. I actually I projected 52%, so actually Nava went on to 63%. So these are all just guidelines that I see how potentially it can happen. So EOK really, I think everybody's shocked when the time is right. Everybody starts pulling the trigger, then every project in the market start moving. And my question to every one of you here is, what's next? So the question is, why EOK performs so well? Okay, so let me just draw your attention to how we usually do comparison for projects. So what we did was we actually pulled out the entire OCR resale prices, right? Park Clementi's was a resale, and during that time, the 3 bedrooms are already transacting about $2,300 per square foot and can actually accept about 2.48 million. And not forgetting new launch for Jaden, it was going at about 2,500 plus per square foot. So Jaden, right, everybody is talking in the entire market, 2008, 2009, 2008, 2009. But for the 3 bedroom, it's only about 2,005 plus. So of course, during that, we have the Chuan Park average pricing. We just use this as an indicator. And you can see Chuan Park, they are starting off is easily about 2,005. And I cannot stress, but this is OCR. I cannot stress this, but whatever pricing that was put out, it was OCR. Then if we compare to the RCR region, okay, averagely is also 2004 to 2008. You can see that when the new launches come in for ABT, about 2006. And these are all, we are comparing 3 bedrooms. Okay, they have 3 compact, 3 bed, or even 3 bed premium, or 3 plus study even. So there are different combinations. Some got store, some no store. So we actually put out all this comparison to see actually which one is more desirable. So here at One North, being 980 square feet is already going for 2005, but with no store. And if you're going for the bigger ones, then they are at least 1,023 square feet. And these are all what? Not harmonized. They are not harmonized. That's why you can see that the sizes are quite similar throughout all the projects launching during that same time. And not forgetting Tembusu Grand just besides EOK, during that, when we were doing this research, their 990 was going about 2,300 plus per square foot, okay, at 2.32 million. No store because of what? Harmonized. And that's why Cindior very smart. They do a 990 store and study. Okay, is to counter people who go for a Tembusu Grand, but if you want to have a study and I'm harmonized, that means I have a little bit more space I can play with. This is why this happens. Where am I? Are you on the highest tier? Are you in the mid tier, or are you at the lowest tier? So my role and my team's role is really to get you safer in your entry so that we can exit easier in future, right? And the premium as well, 2.7 million plus already. So this one is to what? Compared to Emerald Katong. Of course, I'm using 2006 as a benchmark. Why? Because during then we don't have the right pricing, right? So we estimate the pricing should start from 2006, which means the 2006 per square foot will be what? The lowest floor. Okay, lowest floor, lousiest facing. Usually it's like that. And then from there we will benchmark it against. So for every project that we help our clients to secure, right, there's a lot of homework actually we do beforehand. Not just, oh, you get a queue number, lor, then you go there and then you wait. When your number is caught, does it fit into your budget? Is it the unit you want, the facing you want? Then you buy. 980 comparable. During then, everybody knows store. So if you look at this, it's a very clear understanding, should you buy Tembusu or should you buy Grand Diamond, right? Based on pricing. So these are all transacted prices. Of course, these are all transacted prices that we're comparing to EOK during then, because why? We are comparing so that we can see how much of a support price we have. And their bigger unit is 1098 with store is already 2.714 million. So this is the reason why this type actually is very favorable because of the quantum. So we actually projected everything is about 2,600 plus per square foot during then. Okay, so for a quantum play, right? So then, of course, if you look at when it actually sold, okay, I'm using a mid-floor 11 to 14 for all types. Okay, I'm just using the 3 bedrooms as a guideline. So you can see the average 3 bedrooms are all what? About 2,600 plus per square foot from 11th floor onwards. Previously, you all saw the 2 bed and 2 plus study, they are ranging from 2,007 to even 2,900 plus per square foot. So which means our projections for 2006 plus, starting from 2006 per square foot was actually quite close. And how do we derive this? It's not plucked from the sky one. Of course, we have our own research and analytics to understand whether this is the right price that developer would launch, because this is very crucial for you as a buyer. And if you go for the 990, you can see their per square foot is still hovering about 2006, right? Nothing goes a little bit below if you are going for the lower floors. So the context of bigger unit, lower PSF does not equate for every project, every unit, all right? So that's why today you cannot just look at per square foot, meaning, oh, if today I'm buying a bigger unit at 2004 plus per square foot, then the 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom should be higher. It doesn't work that way anymore because of the sizes of the properties. There's a lot of guidelines right now from the government to control our prices being escalating too fast. All right, so these are some of the things I just want to put it through, that next time if you are going for even I think you'll be quite sad every time you go, you spend so much time, you ballot, you put in your check, then after that you take back your check. Don't play lah, not so fun. You also spend time already, so why not do it properly from the get-go? Get a proper advice, you know what is happening, and then you decide whether do you want to go for it. Nobody is forcing you to buy, but if you buy, go in with the intention that, oh, it's going to be very cheap, then I buy, then I think that's the wrong way to purchase property. That one definitely is speculating. So there are a few madness that I see lah. So one of the madness one that I see, right, is somebody who put all three checks. I don't know whether have you all heard of people doing that. So another madness too that I see is they put the check, but actually no intention to buy one. So I also don't know why you put the check for. Then whoever is on duty just, hey, put lah, no need money one, put first lah. Maybe you get a good number, then you decide whether you want to buy or not. Of course, madness number three is if you put in the check and you get a good Q number, at the end you never buy, never buy, never buy. All right, so this is something that is also a question mark. Because if today you are falling into any one of this situation, right, you have to start asking yourself, why do you do that in the first place? Is it because nobody guiding you, or it's just how you usually operate in terms of purchasing a property? Because what we do, anything is how we do everything, right? Or should I say safer? If not, you always have all these kind of expectations that's going to be not helpful. Okay, because today, if you really want to enter the property market, then let's do it properly. Of course, there are some of you who are out there, maybe you really want to buy, and then you get a queue number, wow, super far away, like 3,000, 2,000. Then you're like, I really want to buy here, but I have no luck. It's a lot of people falling into this three madness or prevent you from buying, unfortunately. So you have to always ask yourself, if today you miss EOK or Nava or Chuan, whichever the project is, right? Are you still in the hunt for property, or you're just looking out for this one? If have, don't have kind of mentality. I mean, what are some of the key things today? If let's say you are in madness number three, you get a queue number, very good, but you end up never buy. Perhaps the first thing is the unit that you want. Okay, the unit you want, the perfect unit, I always call it. You wanted, wow, I only want this unit, this facing, this floor level. Don't have this one, I don't buy. So specific. And you cannot consider the higher or the lower floor one. The floor level lah, you cannot, you say die only this one unit, or even size. Okay, maybe even size very specific. Or of course, this is one case, or another one is those that you wanted to buy, the prices already went beyond your. Okay, so this one very common, very common. Or some of you, when you're buying a property and you already walk out from it, is why? Because sometimes feng shui lah. Feng shui also does play a part, or maybe your own preference. You don't like the low floor because I don't want to see the greens. I prefer higher floor. But when the prices you cannot achieve, you still hold on to it like, why I cannot buy the higher floor units? Why I cannot buy the higher floor units, even though there's a lower floor units available for you, but you cannot get over yourself. All these things can be managed because these are all our own choices to purchase. And you, as a homeowner, buyer, you definitely have certain preferences that you willing to purchase, whether it's a higher floor unit, different facing, price point. All these are our own choices. Okay, scared like if I don't buy, other people buy, don't let them buy. You know, that kind of situation. So I want to study a little bit of what is actually happening in the market based on this situation. And we all know that actually in the beginning of the year, a lot of the launches are not doing well. Okay, most of them are definitely even less than 40%. And if you ask me about a year ago, the launches are not even doing up to even 40 or 30%. So what happened right now? Why this shift in terms of behavior? But is interest rate the only indicator or not? It's not. But interest rates will fuel in the demand into the market, that there is a positive signs that, hey, now the market is feeling a little better. Now interest rates drops, meaning my affordability, I am more ready to do it. This is one of the fundamentals indicator when the interest rate come down, like, hey, I want to buy, I want to enter. And it's all about timing, right? So just nice when the Fed rates all these cuts in September, and just nice Chuan, EOK, all this mega project, everybody be waiting, was just nice at this time when the papers are shouting out interest rates coming down, interest rates coming down, and even the latest one, wow, the overseas banks, foreign banks slashing to 2.45%. So all these news together with the hype that, oh, I want to buy something, it makes you more confident that today I can buy property. Does it make sense? All right. So the question is it true that with the interest rate coming down, you should just buy property? It's not only just interest rate, of course. All right. Of course, let me share with you from a data perspective, right? Yes, it is very clear that today when interest rates are down, prices and the demand goes up. So this is the fundamental of how interest rate goes. And when the interest rate are higher, it's a little bit more muted. Okay, a little bit more muted in terms of the growth. And whenever you have another lower point, right, prices continue to go up. So this is the fundamentals of how interest rate works. And this situation is very real because why? When the interest rate starts coming down, beginning of this year is still quite high, and everything changes after June, July, when Fed rates starts coming in September, and then November another 0.5 cut, right? So that's why even developments are doing better when they launch during that time. So this is what is happening right now. So my projection, okay, with this pent-up demand and interest rate reducing and all these news that the property market will so positive, wow, units sold almost 100%, that kind of news, right? This will definitely drive the market. Why? For the 1.5 years, a lot of buyers wanting to buy property, but they are holding back because of the interest rates. Now with the interest rates coming down and all these news that it's a very positive, people will be jumping in. But I want to warn every one of you, that's where a lot of price traps will be happening. Price trap from where? From sellers, from developers at the same time. They are, again, remember, if you are a seller today, you have a very positive vibe that, hey, the market is recovering, interest rates come down. Will you increase your prices so that you want more people to, you hope that you can get a better pricing because now sentiment is better? So if a seller can do it, a developer can also do it. So please have this understanding. We are actually repeating a very similar situation back in the past. And I want to share with you this, and this is very important. So back in 2018, right, you can see that our property price index is actually very high, close to 10%. And the moment when it reaches close to 10%, right? So this was back in 2018. I remember 2018, not now. So you don't know what is going to happen beyond 2018. So during that time, you will ask yourself, is it safe to buy property or not? You ask yourself, will you do it? Okay. Then second thing that happens during 2018 is, so this one you can see from a negative, now everything very positive. Okay, prices went up. So there was a peak price. So ask yourself as a buyer today, when the prices is at all-time high, do you dare to buy property? Okay, that's the first question you must ask yourself. Second question is, during that time, there was China and US trade wars going on, and the economy actually is not doing very well. Again, as a buyer, will you dare to buy? Ask yourself. Okay. Third, our interest rates went high. Okay, incomparable, it already slowly to go up. So interest rate high environment, do you dare to buy? Is it safe to buy? And of course, our inflation during then was also about 1.9%. So the question you ask yourself, should you or do you buy property? So today, if you ask me why EOK or Chuan, is it largely due to the interest rate situation? I will say a majority of them are because they take interest rate as the criteria. I mean, not criteria as a benchmark, like, oh, interest rate come down, I should buy. But if you really want to study more into it, right, whether you bought this probably based on guessing or based on data, that one I leave it to you all to decide. But when we start looking at the property market, right, this has happened before, that during 2018, 2019, we were actually at a very high supply situation. Okay, in 2017 and 2018. So when there's a high supply situation, meaning that a lot of properties during then was TOP. Okay, so you have a very high supply. And when you have a high supply, what will usually happen to price? Price usually comes down, right? Price comes down. So that is the fundamental economics, right? When supply is high, prices come down. Today, with the right data and access, you know that the property supply is going to come down beyond 2021. So today, when the supply comes down to 2021 period, what happened to price? When the supply is down, price should go up, correct? So today, ask yourself, if today you are a buyer, you want to reap in the best rewards, okay? You want to reap in the best returns of your property, okay? Purely from okay, I just want to make money kind of thing, okay? I don't want to think about other stuff. I just want to make sure that, hey, I can buy at a best price and I can sell at the highest price. That's what every seller's dream. I buy low and I sell high. That's what we want, right? So today, let me ask you, where will you enter? Will you enter at A point to buy a property? Or will you enter at B point to buy property? So please take note, at A point 2017 to 2018, right, was the high price period, high interest period, economy not so good period. Were you still there to buy based on your sentiment? Very likely you were not there to buy because of sentiment. But if you look at data perspective, hey, the supply is high, which means today I may be able to get a good, attractive pricing out there when there's a lot of supply. Does it make sense? Okay, so this is how we use the data to actually guide us along as we are going into the property market. So this is the past. Let me show you moving forward, potentially what's going to happen. Do you see the same trend going on? Right now, are we experiencing a very high TOP during last year and last year period? There's a lot of TOP properties going on. And do you see the same trend reducing? So my friends, property is a cycle. So if today, if you want to buy a property, will you want to buy at A point where there's a lot of supply, or do you want to buy at B point when there's a lot of supply? See, so this is where we will guide you all people into understanding why is this happening. And this is just one of the other benchmark that we use when we are entering and exiting from a property. You cannot just rely on interest rates. You cannot just rely on supply and demand, because if it's so easy, everybody will just enter when the supply is very, very low ma. Sorry, you will enter when supply is very, very high. Then every Tom, Dick, or Harry will just buy property during this period. But that's also not only indicator. There's other indicators that we develop that we can guide you better, not just only looking at this. All right. So that's why I say that maybe it's a heng thing, maybe it's a lucky thing that a lot of people are buying at the A point right now when the supply is actually there's a lot of supply right now. And today, if we are buying in, how can we look at where's our exit point? So these are all very important. So our next one, I want to really kind of share with you all 5 different kind of buyers. And the key thing is that today, buyer A, buyer A is like they are ready. Then unfortunately, the number 3 cannot make it. Okay. Then there's buyer B. They put check already. They have no intention to buy actually. No, not serious one. But I don't know why they put it in the first place. So I also spotted another type of buyer. They are ready. They got a good queue number, but eventually did not proceed. And buyer D, of course, they ready, and then eventually they got a purchase. Congratulations. And buyer E, somehow, anyhow, just want to buy. So it only concludes those who cannot buy anything, they anyhow still buy the 1+ study. Not that 1+ study cannot buy, but maybe they're out of choices really. But they say, wow, I finally waited for this project for so long, right? I just buy something. Oh, so that's why the kind of situation will happen, right? So the question is, which stage are you at right now? Which buyer type are you? You know, you can type in the comment so that I can know like where you are right now. So today, there are only 2 groups of buyers right now that you all may want to focus a little bit on, and I want to share with you all, like, basically it's A and C. You have to ask yourself this question, okay, what's next? Because this is where reality really sets in, okay? Whether you are really keen to enter the market, whether have you done enough prep work to enter the market. So for buyer A, right, if today you're out there, right, you're ready, but the queue number cannot help you to purchase a property, then you're like, oh, quite upset, right? I cannot get something. And are you really ready to enter into the market? Or is it because the hype, this period right now that you did not get this unit is the best cooling period? To you to reassess, do you really need to buy property? Or so this is the best cooling period. But if you're in buyer C, okay, because likely you got a queue number, but you did not proceed, likely because of what pricing issue, maybe the desirable units you want is unavailable. And all these are very understandable because we are, as buyers, we have our own preference one. Like some of us, so some say, oh, cannot low floor. Some say cannot number 4. Cannot something with special arrangement of facing of the directions. I cannot face this direction. All these are very real purchasing concern. But if you fall into the category, right, today, if you never buy because of your own expectation that you set because of the prices, and you're looking for those kind of very cheap kind of deal, right, then this is definitely a reality check to guide yourself. If today, are you indeed in the market to really use property as a leverage to help grow your capital and your assets, or you are just gambling? Or today, if you are queuing and you already got your numbers, you know you have a choice to make, but yet you start to have a lot of doubts while you're queuing. So when you start having a lot of all these question marks, right, then my friend, you have not done enough research. You have not prepared yourself enough, and you're just jumping into the hype like anyone else. All right, so because the moment when you start having doubts of your own intention, you will need to reset the entire process. So because your objectives are unclear, you don't know your why, and no matter whether you go for this launch, next launch, forever, you go for launches and launches, right? Even if you get queue number 1, you will not dare to pull the trigger because you still have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns and doubts that you haven't cleared before. So this is where you need the guidance, you need the access, you need the knowledge to guide you through so that you can make this process. So there are always 2 groups of clients that we work with, right? One group is that they already know what they want, but they lack the understanding on why they should buy this property. All right, so this is where we come in. The second group is that you totally are very new in this, but you want to start learning so that you can get yourself involved with the selection process or to make an informed decision. So this is why our role here is to guide you through. We cannot make decisions for you. We have to facilitate and help you through it. So let me share with you one client that this client, I don't know I don't know him before, but he called me suddenly one in the afternoon. And then he said, okay, Edmund, I've been watching your YouTube and I've been following you for a while. I need your help. Okay, he said. I said, okay, maybe you can share with me a little bit of your current property situation. So what he shared really shocked me. He said, I just walked out from queue number one in this XX project, Landor project, I don't know which one. I was shocked. I was like silent for a while. I was like, wow, is this guy for real now? You walked out from queue number one when everybody is begging to have the queue number one and you have all the choices of the units. You have all the time that you can choose the best unit that you have based on ability. But he walked out. So he shared with me that he is ready. He's very prepared. He has been looking at to enter the property market since a couple of months ago, and he has been wanting to find out more. So he's been reading up, watching a lot of videos. When he was there ready to pull the trigger, he backed out because he shared two things. First, he said that I don't know whether this price I buy is safe for me. That's the thing that he shared with me. Second, if I buy this price, how much should I be selling in future that is better? A lot of buyers usually don't look into. They just look into my budget. If it's the unit there for me, my facing that I want, the floor that I want, okay, let's buy. They never look at beyond buying this property. So our role is to help project what is going to happen if, let's say, you buy this property. Are you buying it overpricing? So we actually spend the next 3 days to actually condense all our REI method learnings, right? So that they can actually make a better decision. And in the end, did they go to the one that they got queue number one? No lah. Okay, we deem that their project is not so ideal in their finances as well as their current property timeline. We went on to purchase another property instead. Right? And when they bought it, right, they are so confident because we went through so much, right? They really go in with their eyes wide open. They are so confident of their purchase. There's no questions asked because why we already addressed a lot of them through the education process. And that's how our RA method here is to help you, you see. So today, even if you're unable to purchase, whatever reason, pricing, floor level you don't want, or you just upset the developer did not launch cheap for you, all right, count it as a blessing that you did not buy. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, okay, what's next? The next three things that is very important if you fall into category A and C. First, I want you all to really get clear of your finances. Okay, when I say finances, it's not just go to online and then click, my mortgage is how much I can borrow, how much. Go in depth. Okay, you must at least have 4 things to look out for. The first thing, okay, is to make sure that today your mortgage you can borrow. Second, you must have the down payment. Third, your monthly mortgage. Are you able to sustain paying it without affecting your lifestyle? The last thing you want is you buy a property already, then you eat porridge, that kind of situation. Please don't get yourself into it. The fourth thing, okay, very extremely important. What if anything happens to you in the next 2 years? How are you going to pay for this property? Please ask yourself this question. Because if today you are going in with all your money, right, and you don't have a backup, right, it's going to be extremely risky. Not that you cannot buy, but it's just going to be more taxing because we don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. Even though, let's say you're buying new launches, it's progressive payment, you rather over prepare. Also, I'm a little bit more kiasi, so I rather over prepare for my clients instead of the other way around. Because if not, I'm more stressed. Okay, so that's the first thing for finances. The second thing you want is you must be very clear of the objective of this next property. If you're unclear, reach out to us. Let us get clearer and decide whether is this the right time for you to buy. Because today you need to buy a property and you need to look at how long a runway are you going to hold on to this property. Whether it's for own stay, whether it's for investment, you still need to look at the runway. And that's where planning of timeline, planning of holding on to the property to finances all comes in. The third thing, which is the most important, today you did not pull a trigger, of course, for buyer A is because you're number 3. But for buyer C, you did not proceed. There must be something lacking. Likely is the knowledge gap. You don't have enough understanding that you can make a quick decision or a safe decision for yourself. So quickly get yourself updated in terms of property market. All right, get the knowledge, get your research understanding better. So when the time comes again, you can tell yourself, okay, this is safe. I feel very calm, very confident. Let's go and do it. All right, because we don't want to look back. Whatever that has happened really happened. Move forward. Now that you come on this and you learn this, right? I want you to reset everything that you have so that you can look into property from a different perspective, and that potentially can help you make a better decision and to move forward with another property purchase. All right, so again, I just want to quickly run through the projections that we have done. So this is the actual percentage of all the various launches so far. Okay, Long Chan already 76%. The collective at One Sophia about 10% right now. Union Square about 20%. And of course, we have our champion, Emerald Katong at 99%, so or Novo Place at 56%, and Nava Group at 63%. All right, so in my video, you all can also go and check it out. How we actually guide one of our Chuan Park buyer that eventually we did not go for Chuan Park and we went on to purchase another one. And our EOK buyer yesterday, over the launch period is the same. All right. So way before we already done enough research that today, if the queue number is not as good, there are other opportunities out there that we should explore into. There are better ones out there. Maybe you have missed out or you haven't seen it from another perspective. And if you are prepared and ready, and let us know, we can definitely introduce you something that is based better on your situation as well as your finances. And let's see where the direction heads to. See, because today you need to also be in the right mindset to work with us. Okay. And to enter into the property market. So with guidance instead of you guessing your way. So if today you really need a second opinion, whether you are A, B, C, D, E, doesn't matter. All right. You can always scan the QR code here and reach out to us, and we can see how we can actually progress your property journey in a more structured, safer way. All right. So very importantly is never guess your way into buying property or whatever balance, just buy it. Okay, that's one of the worst situation ever. So I really believe that property can be done in a very structured and systematic way that you can be very confident, you can be very aware of how the property market is moving forward to help yourself and your family. All right, so that's why we created the REI method. We create all these channels to powerfully impacting and empowering you all with the right knowledge to make a better decision. All right, with that, I see you guys when I see you. Cheers.